The City of Ballarat is a local government organisation located in southeastern Australia. We employ over 850 staff and deliver 100 services to a regional city of 100,000 population. Externally, our purpose is to create a better city for people to live their whole lives. Internally, though, our focus is to create an organisation where people can flourish. I think there are several ways you can measure that. Typically HR metrics like turnover, absenteeism, grievances, etc. Probably anecdotally, what are the feedback that you get from the people inside the organisation, but more particularly people from outside the organisation. Visitors can feel culture probably better than you can yourself. And of course there's the obvious measures like engagement surveys, culture surveys, etc. For over 10 years now we've used one particular culture survey, the Organisation Culture Inventory, and I'll tell you a little bit about the way that works. The blue section on this circle indicates constructive styles. And of course you want to see as much of those present as you can. The green section talks about passive-aggressive styles. Likewise, the red section refers to aggressive defensive styles. We tested the validity of the tool by asking some of our staff to complete the survey and talk about a preferred culture, how they would like the place to feel. And this will give you an indication of what that looked like. With each survey, I think you learn more and more about your organisation. In one of our earlier surveys, we spotted that there was quite a difference in perceived culture between that of the executive group and the managers reporting to them. What that prompted us to do was to take a very substantial change to the way we developed our leadership programs and culture change initiatives, and we stepped away from a deficit approach of trying to address gaps and instead more of an abundance approach. And in doing so, we delivered a 2-day neuroscience program which was aimed at setting a scene for those managers of how we wanted them to operate in this environment. The response to that neuroscience program was fantastic. And so to continue that theme, we decided to offer, on a voluntary basis, a coaching skills program which was based heavily on neuroscience. Once I realised the demand for that coaching skills course, I realised I needed to connect those people, not just lose them back into the organisation. I somehow had to connect all the people who had been exposed to that training. And that's when the concept of the alumni struck me. We now have in excess of 70 people in the alumni, and they meet 3 or 4 times a year with the CEO for a lunch, at which he discusses with them 2 or 3 topics that he finds challenging around the organisation. The way that group responds to him and those challenges is really encouraging. It's terribly positive and very, very creative. I think there are several aspects of POS at play here. Definitely positive deviance, definitely high quality connections, subjective well-being, hope, optimism. In fact, I'm a big fan of the entire PSYCAP construct, trust, and organisational identity. Yes, we've definitely seen improvements, not only anecdotally, but also in the measures. You can see here the results for the executive team and the management group, which were from our survey that was done at the end of 2014. The results for both of these groups are now technically seen as being constructive. The challenges for us now are not only to build upon the success that we've had to date, but also to ensure that that change continues to cascade down through the organisation. Late last year we had an internal conference where we introduced even more aspects of POS under the framework of positive leadership, because that's the way that we will frame our leadership development in the coming years. My tips for others looking to utilise POS in their organisation are: cultivate positive deviance, demonstrate care for your people, leverage your early adopters, and tap into intrinsic motivation.